I wanted to share with you all that interchangeably, a lot of you would have heard of, oh, is a dietitian a nutritionist? Can a nutritionist be a dietitian? There are differences and there are similarities. Let me share with you. Firstly, for dietitians, we are qualified healthcare professionals. And that's why we are lodged in the Health and Social Sciences cluster. We manage people with diet-related conditions. If you think about what are the diet-related conditions, I have listed very common ones like diabetes, weight management for people who want to lose weight, heart disease, kidney, digestive, nutrition support. This is just a very short list of what we do to help patients with their diet-related conditions. So, like I mentioned earlier, we are qualified healthcare professionals. We are qualified to practice, to see patients that require medical nutrition therapy. Meaning to say we work hand in hand very closely with the doctors, the nurses, the physiotherapists, occupational therapists, all the allied health professionals in the hospital to manage a patient's health. Essentially, we want to bring the patient back to health, let them go home as soon as possible. Okay? On top of working in a very clinical setting, dietitians are also equipped in health promotion, whether it's for individuals, for example, in health screening, in populations, as well as in communities like in nursing home, daycare centers. Next, career prospect. So I do see parents out here. I'm a parent myself. If my kid wants to choose a career, I want to find out how far can he go, how far can she go. During my time, okay, I don't tell you how long ago, we are only employed in public hospitals. So the Tan Tock Sings, the NUH, the SGH, etc. And we were very, very small a community. Fast forward now, increasingly, hospitals are aware of the importance of dietitian. Imagine if there is any issues with, or rather any conditions that are related to food, dietitians can be referred. So for example, gout, osteoarthritis, other issues that you can think of that has nutrition and diet component, dietitians can be involved. So dietitians are now employed in nursing homes, community hospitals, food services. So, for example, SATs, DINATA are food services that dietitians are employed. Nutrition consultancy in research in public health, Ministry of Health, Health Promotion Board, polyclinics, primary care, and with Healthier SG being a big thing in Singapore, there is definitely a lot more opportunities for dietitians in the very near future. Welcome to Dietetics and Nutrition. It's a relatively new program, although I must say last year, 2023, I've graduated my first batch of students, which means this program is about 5 years old now. So we have 4 existing cohorts, so year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. Look happy, right? So happy program. I will not dive deeply into any of these modules. All this information can be found on the SIT website with even more details. What I wanted to showcase on this slide is the type of modules that you do across the years. I also wanted to highlight that in SIT, we go by the trimester system. 1 trimester is 4 months, okay, 3 trimester, 1 year. In contrast to other universities that practice semester system. So meaning to say we are very fast-paced. You must really be on your toes, get your things done, do your project work well, and then we move. Okay? So these are the modules. And importantly, in year 2, trimester 3 is where we start getting students out to do the first block of placement in food services. So food services are, like I mentioned, like hospitals' kitchen. Just put it very simply. Not anyone can enter the hospital kitchen. Okay? Only SIT dietetic students on placement are able to enter the hospital kitchen watch, shadow, observe how the chef, how the cooks prepare different diets for the different patients. So if you have been in a hospital before, you have seen hospital food, I know not the best fine dining food available, but there's a reason why the foods are being prepared that way, and the students will learn how it's being done and why is it being done. 6 weeks in the hospital, food services. So they go in every day, don't need to come to school. They will go by the hospital's working hours. Okay? Year 3, they come back. These are the modules. And in year 3, trimester 3, the next 2 blocks of placement, we call it CPE, Clinical Practice Education. We start off with community and public health for 8 weeks and 6 weeks of clinical placements in the various hospitals in Singapore. Then they also concurrently do an honours thesis. So this SIT Dietetics and Nutrition degree program is a direct honours. Okay? So when you graduate, you get a direct honours based on and with a classification of your honours degree. Year 4, final placement, 12 weeks. And I see them last trimester in trimester 2. So right now as we speak, my year 4s are in this last trimester. They finish up all these modules and then bye-bye. Graduation is in October this year. Most of them found jobs already. So just to highlight again, the 3 different types of placements for dietetics, very different from the other healthcare professionals. We expose students to food services, community, so if you can recognize the environment, it's like a daycare center, and also in the hospital. This one cannot take photo because private and confidential. Okay. Showcase photos because I think you are want to know, potential applicants as well as parents, what on earth will your kid be doing if they come into SIT Dietetics and Nutrition? These are some of the things that happen in food services. So they do plating, they understand how meals are cooked, what is a diabetic 1,800 calorie diet, what is a low purine diet for. Okay, so a lot of therapeutic diets that they will share and they will learn. So they learn with the cooks, the dishwashing auntie, the people who throw away the waste, everyone. Okay, so really an eye-opening experience if you ask any of my students at the booth later. So I've got year 2s and year 3s at the booth. Community and public health, they go around the various community settings. It could be a daycare center. This group of students went on home visiting. So they went into around some of the blocks in Toa Payoh, knock on the elders' door, do health screening for them. Okay, so expose them to community dietetics. In class, what do they do? Quite fun. A lot of hands-on activity, a lot of group work, tutorials, we do physical examination on each other. We get practicing dietitians in the hospitals to come in to SIT to share their knowledge, their experience with the students. Of course, dietetics is always about food. We learn more in-depth into what food is, composition of food, measure what's the weight of rice, noodles, etc. Okay, so this is all done in class. I also take them outside SIT because I know nowadays they want experiential learning. So we have lectures outside of SIT in Wilma, and this is in Biopolis. This is in Singapore Heart Foundation. So I conducted a tutorial on cardiovascular disease in Singapore Heart Foundation for the students to understand what happens to a patient after they discharge from the hospital due to a heart attack. Nobody really cares about patients after they discharge. My role is to show them what really happens outside. Okay? This one also very happy. Go to a rooftop farm. Singapore got no farm. Closing down already. So in one of the modules on food systems and sustainability, we share about how do we ensure that Singapore is sustainable 30 by 30. So we brought them to a rooftop farm. And then after the tour, after learning everything, free flow, pluck vegetable and bring home. Everyone given a plastic bag, pluck, how much you can fit. Some very paiseh in the beginning, but after that I say, take everything. Then they start plucking everything from the farm. So these are edible vegetables, all grown via hydroponics. After the fun comes assessment. Need to test all the students. In dietetics and nutrition, we have something called OSCE, Objective Structured Clinical Examination. If you look at these people that are non-students, right, these are professional patients. Meaning to say we engage these individuals who come into SIT and act as patients. So prior to the exam, we will give the script. Okay, Mr. So-and-so, can you act out this condition? Can you act out this scenario? So one by one, when the students come in, this standardized patient will then act out the scenario that we want the students to solve. Okay, so it's all got to do with communication. It could be a newly diagnosed diabetes. This could be a cancer survivor who is visiting an outpatient. We also have hospital-based in SIT to simulate a ward environment. If you look like hospital, right? Got the bed, got side tables some more. Except there's a timer behind. You need to finish counseling the patient in 15 minutes. So all stress. But we try our best to simulate the work environment as much as we can in SIT. So that when students start working in the hospital, they don't be, culture shock, why like that? My mantra is that all dietitians need to know how to cook. If your son and daughter can cook very well, they will survive. If don't know how to use a knife, can also survive. Because in year one, we'll make sure everybody have basic cooking skill. In this program, I'm not asking them to churn out Michelin star food. What we want and what we expect are therapeutic diets. Okay? Low FODMAP diets, plant-based diets for cancer. Quite nice, right? They make chapati in class, not buy frozen and toast. I say no. Everything have to make from scratch. So imagine some of the foods that they make include pao, they have made min chang kueh, they have made kueh dada, kueh salad. So I'm the recipient. I say that you cook, make sure I don't get diarrhea because I will know that your food caused me diarrhea. So as part of the curriculum, we assess the food that the students prepare. Not only from aesthetic, but nutritional composition, creativity, taste, texture, aroma, question and answer based on the case study. Fun, but also challenging. But they work in a group. So those who can cook can help those who cannot cook. Those who cannot cook, go and wash plate. True, right? At home, mommy's cook, daddy's wash plate, right? Or the other way around. So, like I mentioned, so 4-year direct honours. So this is my first batch of students. So they completed honours thesis. So this is research-related project over the course of their study. So we will be guiding them, mentoring them on research as well. Okay. Service learning. This was actually during the COVID period whereby Singapore National Stroke Association invited SIT dietetic students to give a talk to the carers of stroke patients, how to eat healthily, how to prevent the next stroke from happening. So students, so we guide students on preparing public talks. So National Library Board has also engaged our dietetic students to give talks to the general public, like for example, how to prevent osteoporosis, how to eat better, healthy aging, how to look younger, things like that. So we guide students to go out to give public talks, just to increase their public speaking skill and communication skill as well. Because dietitians need to talk, you see, I talk, right? So must be like me, keep talking. Just touch a little bit on applied research. So these are some of the key areas. Maybe not to bore you too much, because all of you are still poly graduates as well as JC graduates. Not too much into research, but this is what we do in dietetics and nutrition. I do quite a bit of research, and what I do is I pull students along to help me. So they learn the research process by helping me.